Welcome back to the Indie Basketball Podcast. This is where indie rock meets the NBA's finest. Today's pod is a good one. We've got Catherine and Julian of the band Remember Sports, such a fitting name to be on the podcast. And they are a combination of Sixers and Celtics fans. We are definitely talking about some of the trades that happened today. I have an interview coming up with them later in the episode. But first, and we will get to those trade discussions. I know a lot has happened, and there are many trades and many more to come, probably by the time this episode drops. But first, I think I would love to talk a little music and set it up, because there's been many announcements today besides basketball news. Starting with Frico has announced a new album. And I was a big fan of their last album that came out in 2024. It was one of my favorite albums of the year. I was a huge fan of it. And they announced a new album called Something Worth Waiting For that is due out at the end of April. I think it's going to be great. I think there's going to be a lot of anticipation for them to kind of take that next step. And I know with their debut, they kind of blew up. They came out of nowhere. But I think people took notice, and I think we'll see a lot more from them with this album, and I'm excited to hear it. I think it's a very unique timbre in his voice, and I think it's a sound that kind of echoes back to some of that indie sleaze a little bit from the early 2010s, and I'm just excited to see them keep evolving and just put up more music, because I listened to that last album over and over, and I don't think it's enough. So I'm ready to get some more tracks out there. In addition to that, big news was Broken Social Scene has announced a new album. It's called Remember the Humans, and it'll be due out in May. In addition to that, they will be touring with Metric and Stars, a real indie rock Canadian all-star tour going on there. And that's going to be huge, because this is their first album in 9 years, and I think a lot of people are looking forward to it. And this is especially because this is the first time, Kevin Drew and David Newfield are reuniting for the first time in 20 years, I think it was. And so the first track they released, it was giving me a little bit of that You Forgot Us in the People vibe. And I'm excited for that, because I was listening to that, today once they announced it. And I'm looking forward to that. And I Broken Social Scene is a deep band, and Feist is returning for some songs, and I think the world needs it. I think the world needs a new Broken Social Scene album. So excited to have that come back into the fold. Lastly, some new music that dropped that I've been really into, and it's from a band called Hazel City. That's Clay Frankel from Twin Peaks. That's a solo project. It's definitely doesn't sound like Twin Peaks. But it's good, and it's very somber. It's kind of like this nice lo-fi, quiet, very moody, but it's a nice little fix for those who want some new Twin Peaks. I would hold your breath. I don't know that new Twin Peaks is coming, but they are doing their reunion kind of tour. Not really a tour. It's 8 nights at Tally Hall in Chicago in May. I don't think I've ever seen 8 nights in a row of the same venue. I think that's pretty insane, but I will be there for one of the dates, and because I miss that band, and they're kind of Chicago legends in indie rock, at least in the past 15 years. So in addition to this, one thing I wanted to do, obviously, trade rumors are swirling nonstop around the deadline. Giannis, where's he going to go? Is he going to come to the Bulls? I hope so. There's a lot of rumors going around. So let's do some trade proposals, but let's do a little twist. So what I did is I asked our community if you could trade a member from any band for another member, what would you do? So let's see what we got. So we have the first answer: Phoebe Bridgers of Boy Genius for Haley Williams of Paramore. I I actually dig this. I think they would both kind of do really well in each other's band. I think Phoebe Bridgers in Paramore is interesting. I don't know if she can sustain that kind of energy, but Hayley Williams in Boy Genius is kind of cool, and she like fits in oddly enough. I'm into it. All right, let's trade Doug March for Isaac Brock, so once and for all we can see that they don't sound similar. Now, I for one never actually felt they sounded similar. I don't see it. I know they're friends. They're an Ugly Casanova together. I don't see the similarities in their voices. If Isaac Brock wasn't Built to Spill, I'd probably like Built to Spill less, if I'm being honest. I love Modest Mouse. I love Built to Spill a lot more. I don't know what Doug would bring to like this newer Modest Mouse, but I sure would love to hear Doug March cover like an old Modest Mouse song, like Teeth Like God's Shoe Shine or something like that. That would be fun. So that maybe that's what it is. I feel like maybe early in both their careers they could have interchanged vocally, but now I don't see it. I don't hear it. All right, how about Chino Moreno to Linkin Park plus 2 second rounders? Yeah, I'd listen to that for sure. I'm just wondering, is it like in addition to like Mike Shinoda, so we can like is this like he is the sole singer of Linkin Park now? Because the whole point of Linkin Park is they have that duality of singers. But I'm into it. I don't know who's returning, because if Mike Shinoda's going to Deftones, I think that is a real bummer. But Chino and Linkin Park could be cool. I don't know. All right, how about Ben Gibbard of Death Cab traded for James Murphy of LCD Sound System? I don't know. I know that the logic is that Ben Gibbard going to LCD would kind of bring him back to the Postal Service vibe, maybe a little bit, and then vice versa. James Murphy and Death Cab gets him to more of that more raw, emotional, less dancey stuff. I could see it. I think I'd be a lot more interested to hear the Ben Gibbard in LCD Sound System vibe. But I don't know if this deal works for me overall. All right, now related to the new album news, Broken Social Scene trades everything except Kevin Drew and Feist for Jeff Tweedy. I love an overhaul. This is a tear it down trade. And really an overhaul of the franchise. Broken Social Scene then becomes what is essentially the new Pornographers. And I think it works. You got to try something different. Kevin Drew, Feist, and Jeff Tweedy in a band. I don't know how that works, but I'm curious about it. Breaking, Black Country New Road trade for Geese frontman Cameron Winter. This one's breaking the world, breaking the internet. I don't know that the indie nerds can handle this. I think it's just too much to comprehend. The world's not ready for it. All right, the last trade offer. Fleet Foxes trade Robin Pecknold for Father John Misty. Now I'm into this. This is a good story because, this is the, long-time legend of a franchise being traded for someone who used to be in that franchise, who used to be, Father John Misty, got to start in Fleet Foxes a little bit. To see him come back and take the throne over Robin Pecknold to be the leader of the franchise. That's a story, man. I'm into it. I actually think also sonically, I think it would sound interesting to hear Josh Tillman doing Fleet Foxes songs. I'd be cool with it. This was fun. I love doing this. Who would you propose to trade bands? I think this is a fun thing. Maybe we'll revisit this. But, real trades are happening, including Darius Garland for James Harden. That's been hanging on there. You got Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Jazz. My Bulls are making some moves, and I hope that's not the end of it. I hope we're going to make some more. But we'll talk about that with Julian and Catherine. So let's get to the interview with Remember Sports. Make sure you check out their new album. Enjoy the interview. But what a great day for you guys to join and talk about basketball.
I know,
it's been
breaking
a crazy
news.
day for trades. And we'll definitely talk about that a little bit. But I like to start talking with some music stuff first.
Cool.
And kind of a jump ball question I like to ask people when they come on is I'd love to know what you guys have been listening to lately.
I, the other day, listened for the first time since 2020 to Fetch the Bolt Cutters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And just kind of, that's a whole memory vault there.
We were talking about that.
still-
It's like such a time capsule album that it's like hard to crack it open again.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. As I feel like a lot of stuff that came out in 2020, it's like it feels like it's almost like locked in that year.
I know.
Yeah.
Or when you see like people jamming remotely,
Yeah.
like a video where you're like, I don't want to see that.
Totally.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But
Even
podcasts are
setting
okay.
up,
Great up.
setting up this podcast, like one of the mic input options was like black hole, which was like something I only
Yeah.
downloaded to do streaming stuff.
Yep. I think I remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
Julian, what about you? What's something you've been listening to?
I have been delving into the works of Suzanne Vega, who is someone who I just know at Tom's Diner, and but it turns out she has like a bunch of really awesome albums from the 90s.
Nice.
And they're really inspiring. But I'm at that moment with it right now where there's so much to, like, I'm just at the beginning of the journey, which is kind of the most fun. I'm like, there are like 6 albums that I have to like learn. I don't have to, but I want to.
Sure.
And it seems insurmountable, and I love that feeling when you're like, oh, I found a whole new fresh like area.
Yeah, I do feel like that is a fun kind of rabbit hole to go down of like finding one hit wonders and then being like, what else did they do?
Yeah. It's like unlocking a area in a game or something. I was just like entered into a new room, and I'm like, oh, like what's here? What can I get?
Yeah.
So I'm at the beginning of that right now.
Very cool. Very nice. Well, I'm excited to have you guys on. I know, it's been 5 years since the last Remember Sports album.
Is that true?
Did you guys like intentionally take a break, or was it like we'll get to it when we get to it?
No, it wasn't like an intentional break, really. It kind of is COVID related, I guess. Like,
Sure.
Jack, who plays guitar, left Philly and like got a school counseling degree in Rochester. So we were all like, we're kind of a long distance band for the first time in a long time. So, it just like life happens, and we just,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. And Julian, have you always been the band, or
No.
is this your first album with the band?
Yeah, I worked on the last one. I helped co-recorded and mixed it.
Sure.
And then there was like speaking of one of those like live streams. That was the first time I played, right? Because Connor, previous drummer, moved away. Another like everyone's life got shook up. He ended up going a different direction, moving away, and then I filled in for that like live thing, which was so bizarre.
Yeah, it was
fun.
very weird.
But it was just that thing where you play and then like there's no one. You're just like, was that good? I don't know. Maybe it was bad. You're just like in a studio. You're like, hope anyone is watching or liked it. But I had fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, but this was the first time I played drums and got to do
Sure.
that.
Yeah,
And we
nice.
got to go to Chicago and like record like electrical audio, which was
It's a great place to be.
a bucket list
Yeah.
for me.
And I guess very commonalities. I know like you guys are good friends with Rat Boys, and that speaking of the live stream, do you guys do that Halloween like streamathon they did?
I think Carmen did
Yeah.
joined in on it at some point. She was like streaming Sims. That was like her COVID activity, and I think she popped on to the Rap Boys stream. I can't totally remember though.
Because I remember I looked back at like the poster for that, and I'm like, since 5 years ago, it's like the amount of people on this poster who have really amped up doing things and releasing music in that time span is like really insane. Like such a stacked lineup for
I
for
know.
a life.
Yeah. I mean, Rap Boys, like, they just are. They're what every band should want to be when they grow up. Like they're just such hard workers and like the nicest people. And I'm very excited for their new record. I love all the singles that have come out.
Like sharing a release time.
I know. It's funny to be synced up with them.
When is theirs out?
It's
This
out
weekend.
this Friday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many. I feel like that, like the kind of friends that they have, and there's so many bands that become friends, and I feel like there's this really cool extended circle that of just friends who like friends' music, and it's just like it's a really cool time because I mean I'm very attached to like the Chicago music scene, but it like extends well beyond that, and I know Philly has its own kind of realm of that too, and like to see those connected, very cool.
Yeah. I think Philly and Chicago are of a kind. I mean, Chicago is bigger, obviously, but hardworking towns.
Good
Definitely.
music. Good music scenes.
Yeah.
in both.
Good music, very passionate about sports teams.
True.
Working class cities.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a good commonality to have.
Yeah.
But so you guys have a new album coming out as well. Is there? And I noticed, like in the tracks I've heard, like it feels like there is kind of a shift to where, especially from where you guys had started, and especially it was like more of this kind of unpolished on purpose sound originally, and it was a little rough around the edges, even a little more on like the punk rock side. In this album, there's a little bit more. There's even some twang, and there's some like kind of like softer side. Like, I guess like what was like the journey and like kind of evolving the sound? Like, is there like something kind of specifically that influenced that kind of changed the music you guys were writing?
I think a lot of it is that we're just all like better at playing music and can like play more than one type of music, and all of us are, we're all like home recorders, and like, you can make punk rock at home, obviously, but like the stuff you tend to make in your bedroom is, quieter or like more poppy or something like that. So at least for me, like that definitely, like, stuff I was able to do on my own influence stuff that I wanted to bring to the band, and I think that's true for the rest of the Remember Sports people.
Yeah. Julian, do you feel like there was like a difference from going from kind of helping create it to kind of playing in it?
Yeah, I think it's like kind of, in some ways there's an advantage, because I was drumming and I was like, I knew I was going to end up with the files and to kind of be in charge of mixing them too. So it helped. I mean, that's a classic thing, but it helps, helped to know, right. Going into it. I was like, I need to get this because I'm going to want to do this later. So it was like piecing it together with a plan, because, and it's, I have a lot of tricks in my life at this point to convince drummers to do things the way that I would like to hear them, in a nice way that makes them feel good and me feel good and everyone feels like that they're on board, like not psychological tricks exactly, but it's just things where we're like, that hi-hat is too loud, but I don't want to just say you're mashing it. Like, I want to find a way to get it so that we're going to keep it quiet, and all drummers are different, and I'm not trying to make people drum like the way I might drum, but doing it that way, I'm like, okay, I know what this room sounds like. I know what I'm going to want to do later. I know how I want to play to the room, to the mix. So that's like
internalize your own feedback.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, the disadvantage is the exact same thing. You're like, geez, like that's a lot of if I mess it up, there's can't blame the mixer, can't blame the drummer, you know. But
or in your head, you're like, this sounds terrible, and everyone else is like, what are you talking about?
I mean, that happens sometimes. You know, sometimes where you're just like, we had a few. I mean, it was nice. I loved it because it was like it's what is now kind of, I guess, an old-fashioned way of recording in which we'd really just, you know, it's electrical. Are you in Chicago?
I am Chicago.
You may have been there. You probably know more than me about electrical, but it's like, you know, those two rooms and you just track. It's very like oriented. They didn't have a keyboard there. It was awesome. Sure. It was so funny. At one point, we were like, "Can we add like a synth?" And they're like, "I think we got a synth somewhere in the like basement,
like a battery-powered Yamaha or something."
Yeah, it was like there was no synth there. It was just like a room to record like guitars and drums and bass. You know, and
I've never actually been. I've really always wanted to check it out.
Oh yeah, you gotta. If you can get in there sometime. I mean, they're so nice. I'm sure they'd show you around. Sure. It's the coolest place. It's like kind of heaven for recording a band live. But yeah, we did it like that, you know. We just played. We got in a good mood if we could. And we ate a burrito. You know, we did whatever we had to do to like get happy, and then go out there and go out there and play together. You know, which I think is great. I love to hear stuff like I love albums like that, and it makes it like it does. I call it old fashioned. It makes it feel a little like I can hear. You know, there's a lot of bleed. The way they record too. It's like the guitars are in the same room. Yeah. The drums are. I was playing some of them very loud, and they're like just getting into the other stuff, and you just use that and use it to your advantage. I don't know.
I feel like you can tell when you're doing like a live like recording like that. It just sounds like you're playing as one versus like separating all the instruments and like recording those individually. And like when you play in a live room, it just feels like you can expect it to match your live show better. I feel like.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it definitely feels. And so there were some of the songs. I don't remember how many. Catherine, maybe you remember. We had done a couple live, like on tour. So there were a few that felt like we were just slam dunk. You know, your basketball crossover. We were slam dunking them, no problem, because we had played them 100,000 times, and we knew what we wanted to do with them. And so those did especially well there. I think it was just like, oh, we're in like the best sounding room ever, with an engineer who. She's like an expert at doing exactly this, and we are like ready. So that felt good.
Awesome. And I guess, you know, having you guys on here, Catherine, I need to know, like, the band name is Remember Sports. Like, is there like an origin to the name that actually involves sports, or is it kind of ironic?
I think it was kind of ironic. It was like, you know, a dumb 19-year-old, like, you know, we're just like, let's be called sports, like, because we're like indie kids and we don't like sports. But like,
right,
you know, I don't think any of us would pick this name if we got to do it over again. But you know,
but I feel like now it has the cachet. I feel like it has like significance to it because of you've had it for so long.
Yeah, totally. And like we had to change it because there's another or there's several other bands named Sports.
There's a couple. But I've actually had a band on.
Oh, you did?
Sports.
Oh, yeah. Did you have the Oklahoma ones?
I did.
I met the Boston ones.
Yeah, the Oklahoma Sports, they sent us a cease and desist, so we had to change our name.
Sorry about it.
That's okay. But I think Remember Sports is better of a name.
It is. And also still true to the original.
Yeah, totally.
It's also easy to like alter merch and albums, and you just have to slap a little Remember on top of it, and it's no problem.
Yeah.
And the Boston band has a period at the end, right?
Yes,
so.
they do.
I met the guy at a bar, and I was like, I had a couple beers, and I was like trying to not be a stinker about it, even though I didn't really care. Like, he was nice. Sure. I was just like kind of giving him a hard time. He did nothing to deserve it.
Let us be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, like, super excited for the album to come out. I know, like, you know, in the songs I've heard, I've been really loving what I'm hearing, and I do feel like you guys have definitely, production-wise, like, it sounds like you upped the game, and like it feels like very, you know, very polished and very full sounding, and definitely stoked to hear the rest of it.
Sweet, thank you.
Want to talk a little basketball?
Let's talk hoops.
Today is a crazy day, and I've been trying to like gather notes to do this, and I keep having to change them.
I know.
And
There's a lot of stuff
literally,
happening.
15 minutes before we started, officially, James Harden and Darius Garland have been traded for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe we're breaking that news right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even though this will come out like in 2 days. But
We'll be breaking it to someone.
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I'll outline just some of the trades that came today. Harden for Garland. Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Jazz.
Oh,
another
yeah,
junior.
that one was crazy.
Yeah. Vooch for Anthony Simons, which I feel like, Julian, you and I are both directly affected by that trade.
Yep.
And Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley to the Bulls. That was a larger trade as well.
What was that one? I didn't even see that one.
I didn't see that one.
That was I think the first one to drop of the day. It was a 3-team deal with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh, wow.
So I think Kevin Huerter goes to the Pistons. Saric, who we had for 1 day, is gone.
Process legend, Dario
so, yeah.
Saric.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, Saric has really seen time in many teams these days, but he still has a fan favorite. I don't know if you've seen. There's this person who is kind of like the #1 Dario Saric fan and very popular on TikTok.
No, I
seen
haven't
that.
seen that.
Her name's Lev. She's awesome.
Hell yeah.
So, what do you guys think of some of these trades? I mean, is there anything that like is popping out to you?
The Jaren Jackson one is
Well,
confusing.
the Vooch one,
to
I was
me.
excited because I always like Vooch.
Hasn't he been injured?
I don't. So with the Jaren Jackson one, I don't know what they're doing because with Ja too. I mean, he's gonna go too, right?
Yeah.
What did you think about that Jaren Jackson Jr. trade?
I mean, like, people have been waiting for the Jazz to blow it up for like 3 years, probably, and I guess they're not going to.
Right.
So,
ever since the Ja incident, I feel like there's been trouble brewing.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyle Anderson, too, is in that trade. Slow-mo.
Slow-mo, baby.
But honestly, the Jazz are kind of sneaky good now. Like to
Yeah,
have
that's
Jackson,
what I hear.
Keontae George, Laurie, like that's an interesting team.
Yeah. That is, yeah. I mean, like, they're not doing anything in the West, though, you know?
They
That's
lost
fair.
9 of their last 10 games.
That's fair. I'm still attached to Laurie just a little bit, so I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I like to see him thrive.
Totally.
I know, that's a good
I've
question.
had
Like, do you
him-
like to see a player that's left you do well or do worse?
It's hard because it happens. Actually, feels like quite a lot.
Right.
Jimmy Butler, prime example. Although he was good with the Bulls, but he definitely got better once he left. It happens, and you know what? I still end up having a soft spot for those people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of bad breakups in the Sixers history, so there's like plenty of people I feel nothing for. Like, my good buddy is a Cavs fan, and like, I'm just sorry for him. Like, it sucks to watch that guy play basketball. Like, he's just a bad watch and a bad hang.
Yeah. And also for such like a person you just like so much in Darius Garland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, cutie, young guy. Like,
He's not bad by any means. Like I feel like the chemistry with Donovan Mitchell was like pretty good. Although maybe there was a little overlap in their skill set, but
yeah. I feel like there were like 3 or 4 years ago when the Cavs were like first kind of getting good, like they were like kind of the cool kids to me. Like like, have you noticed how like younger NBA players wear their shorts like a little bit higher?
yeah.
Like Darius Garland was like the first doing that, and I was like, oh, these guys are like cool. So it's a bummer. It's a bummer to lose a young guy that you like that with such nice
Totally.
short shorts.
You know what? I think Harden used to do that in warm-ups only for some reason. But I don't know if that was like just like a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think when it comes to like specifically the Vooch for Simons trade, like I am very happy to let go of Vooch. But I am also sure that Julian, you're excited to have a big man on your team.
Yeah, that, and my partner Emily is a Magic fan, and she was. This is again speaking to like the personality side of it. She like loved him and was really upset when they got rid of him, and like sort of refused to understand it logically, in my opinion. But it was fine. It was an emotional connection, and she was really mad about it. And she's also a Celtics fan, so I'm wondering if she will follow him here, or how that's going to go with her. I don't know, but I'm excited for that, because they do need a big man really bad.
I think that was like a pretty fair trade.
Yeah,
things considered.
Yeah.
But you know, as a Bulls fan, I'm just hoping these are all signs of maybe we go for Giannis, and because we have like 7 point guards right now. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
How do you guys think that Sixers are gonna make any moves in the next 24 hours?
I hope not. I mean, I feel like they'll, before the Paul George thing, like people were talking about, like they were basically gonna have to get rid of Kelly Oubre for like nothing to get under the luxury tax, and like that, like there's nothing more boring to me than like getting under the luxury tax. And like Kelly's cool. He goes mountain biking in Philadelphia. Like he wears skeleton gloves, and like he plays, which I like. And I just like. They're like Simmons was talking about VJ for Giannis, and I want like no part of that at all.
Yeah, I mean, VJ is a very like likable, cool person who like came out strong, and it's just like, no, why would I do that? I feel like you guys are more likely to trade Jerry McCain, if anyone.
Yeah, but he's like only kind of like getting back to himself. Like if they traded him last year, like they could have gotten some good stuff for him, but like he's like maybe a sweetener, but he's not like going to be the centerpiece of any like big deal, I don't think.
I don't know, maybe Bulls could use another guard.
Can I pose a conspiracy?
I would love you to.
A very Bill Simmons move, honestly. But
yes.
Do you think there's a world in which this Paul George thing is like they just were like, here, like take this, and then we can get under the luxury cap. You are like 35 or whatever. You can rest for 25 games. I don't see.
But he's
this
losing
seems to work.
$11 million.
You don't think that there's some? All right, this is where the conspiracy gets deeper. I'm like, you don't think there's some shuffling of shoe money somehow via the?
This is turning into a Pablo Torres podcast.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start investigating.
Yeah,
I don't know. It seems
he came from the Clippers, so maybe there's a I don't know. There might be a dirty laundry connection underneath there.
I think we need to investigate. I think you need to just turn this into like one of those investigative pods.
I mean, the biggest thing that makes me believe that it's actually real was I saw someone tweet like, the NBA had to investigate when they saw Paul George doing 360 windmills in warm-ups.
Yeah,
and he scored like
he hasn't played this good in a while.
He had like 8 threes the game before. It was like the first time he's like broke 30 this season.
Yeah. So what was the actual reason they suspended him?
Illegal substance, but I think it's just people
not
speculating.
Specifically.
I don't know if anyone
not
has
specific.
I don't know if anyone.
Yeah,
I mean,
something related to his mental health.
Yeah, he said mental health. People were guessing ketamine.
Does ketamine make you better at basketball?
I can't imagine it does.
I don't think so.
I went online just to like, get into stuff that's not my business and try to figure out what it was. Yeah. And I saw ketamine. I saw people saying SSRIs, which I was like, I don't think it's that. But he said mental health, so that's people are like, what is a thing? Yeah, but it's hard to imagine.
That is something he has publicly talked about. In the past, so it could make sense, and I hope he's all right. But if he was taking a mental health break, he was balling out while depressed. So
I mean, my hot take to follow up my conspiracy is that I think that there should be no banned substances in any sports. I think they should just let people go crazy.
Absolutely.
Like, I grew up watching baseball in the late 90s. That was as good, or early 2000s. Like, that's as good as it gets.
I very much agree. I think that Barry
What's the
Bonds
problem?
and Roger Clemens and all of them should be in the Hall of Fame.
It's not like kids are taking steroids watching it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to take steroids when I was
slow.
It's not like doing any harm. I mean, it's probably doing harm to themselves, which I don't want. But if they want to like have if they want to take steroids and have a neck that's like this thick, and hit dingers.
I feel like there was also someone made a joke about like Bruce Bochy, the manager for the Giants, when Barry Bonds was on the team. He wore a size like 8.5 hat. Like, he must have been on steroids, man.
Yeah, it is crazy though, because they I think there was a lot of guys that got in trouble for steroids that were just like recovering. They're not even like trying to get jacked. They're just trying to like come back from injuries suffered that they're just trying to get back. So
sure,
legalize it.
I mean, if they're like people can do Ozempic, I feel like steroids. Sure, like
if it helps you hit.
Is Ozempic banned in the NBA?
That's a good question.
Good question.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we need to investigate.
There's a lot to investigate. It turns out. Is Ozempic banned?
Indie basketball
Catherine,
finds out.
Yeah, right. Catherine, you said that you do a fantasy basketball league, yeah?
I do. I used to do it with Julian, but he does like points league, I guess is how you.
Oh, I'm a points fan as well, so.
Yeah, it's a points league.
I would just like kind of lose interest because like I would just like forget to set my lineup 1 week and then like just the whole season is ruined. So now I'm in a week to week cat league.
Yeah. 9 cat, yeah.
I think it's 9 cat, yeah. And I was way better last season, but then I feel like there's like a changing of the guard happening a little bit in the NBA. Like the like random dudes that I knew before are like not as good anymore, and like there's like younger random dudes that are good, and I don't know them yet. So kind of a lost season for Cathro's process servers.
It's also hard when like if you play like fantasy basketball or whatever, and you've played for so long and you're like, oh, I can count on this person to be good, but I feel like that window of like how long a player is like an elite player, like, oh, they should go in the first round, it shortens like all the time now. So it's like, I mean, like, it's weird to be like, I don't want to draft LeBron.
Yeah, totally.
It's just weird. We're at that era.
I know.
Yeah.
I draft emotionally, and it doesn't usually serve me. Like, I'll be like, oh, it's Celtic that I want, and I'm like picking him way too high and then regretting it. But I don't know. That's what it's about.
Yeah,
making bad choices for your team.
Peyton Pritchard in the 4th round.
Sure, he's. No, honestly, for me this year, I have to like publicly apologize to my league. I'm doing what Catherine did to our league years ago, and just like I completely missed some time and just gave up. I haven't set my lineup in a really long time, and there's a text thread and they're mad at me.
Yeah,
and my team is really good.
Remove you?
They're not going to remove me because they're good friends, but they're just going to harass me all season. But is
it
true.
a keeper league or is it redraft?
It's redraft.
Yeah.
And it is true with these. I want to do the week to week because it always is like this. It's like once you fall behind, it's like I got other stuff. I can't. I got other stuff to do.
Yeah. I'm the same way, but I will say the savior has been ESPN adding the quick lineup feature.
Yeah.
Immediately puts anyone who is playing into your starting lineup, which is amazing.
Automatically?
Like you just hit quick lineup.
Okay.
You check it on Monday, it does it for the rest of the week.
Got it. That's good. That would have helped me this season.
Very helpful. Yeah. The key is checking it on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot to set my lineup on like the week of MLK Day, and I feel like it doesn't every team play on MLK Day. Like
that's like a new thing. I think like it's like Christmas Day Part 2.
Yeah.
Like this year they had a full schedule for MLK Day.
Because
Yeah,
the NFL's like trying to steal Christmas
They're
now.
creeping in.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had like an empty roster on MLK Day. It was bad.
Yeah. So, Catherine, you're a Sixers fan. Julian, you're a Celtics fan.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear both of you individually. Like, who is like your favorite player growing up?
You want to go first?
Well, I kind of came to basketball a little later in life. I'm a starting in the process Sixers fan.
Okay.
I played
yeah.
basketball as a kid, but I didn't really watch it growing up. Like, I grew up in New York, and the Knicks mean nothing to me, unfortunately. Like, it seems fun to have them mean something. But my favorite baseball player as a child was Bernie Williams.
Nice.
A good musician.
Yeah.
Great guitarist.
Indeed he is. So, if you came in with the process era, were you a Ben Simmons believer?
I did buy a Ben Simmons jersey.
You still have it?
I do still have it. Yeah, I don't really know what to do with it.
It'll get value
Yeah,
over
keep
time.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I was a believer. I guess I was.
I was too.
And I was. Yeah. He's so tall. How could he
I
be
know.
bad?
He was good.
He was like, yeah, he was good. He was really good in college. It was like he had the skill set like that LeBron had, where he was super tall and he had length and he could play a point guard as like someone who's 6'10", which is amazing.
Great defender.
But now he's a pro fisher. So
Yes, he is.
Is he?
Yes,
Yeah,
he started
he
his
quit-
own
he
sport
retired.
fishing league.
Oh my god. Good
he's
for
like,
him.
I want to become a professional fisher.
He needed to relax. This is good. This is like he needs. I think
He loves
basketball
it.
was not the right.
He's one
career.
with the sea now.
Good for him. Did you see that Randy Johnson is like a good professional photographer now?
Oh, he's been going at it for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like
So does
shocked.
Ken Griffey Jr.
A photographer?
Yeah, he does sports photography. He's at like the Masters every year with like a huge telephoto lens.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I love that the dominating Mariners from the '90s are like, we're photographers now.
I mean, it makes sense. You have to have a good eye to hit the ball, right? It's like you're using that gift for something after your career. I love it.
So good. So I guess Julian, let me know who was your favorite growing up.
It's probably Larry Bird because I started watching basketball like probably his like last season. I was like a kid. I was probably like 6 or 7, and he was like hobbling around, and my dad was like, "Oh my god!" Like he was like he loved him, and so I was like Larry Bird's the coolest. And then as I became a fan as a kid, they just entered into like a pretty dark era of basketball. Like it was fun. I used to go to games with my dad, but it was like our best player was like D Brown or just a kind of
Antoine Walker years.
Yeah, and then Paul Pierce was. Then that was when the comeback. But yeah, I think like as a kid, like it was like I was like, oh, the Celtics are bad, but it was still fun. I got to go to the Boston Garden right before it. They didn't have AC there too. It was crazy.
Before it was the TD Garden.
Before they knocked it down and built the TD Garden. But yeah, I think Larry Bird, just because he was still such a. It was like the tail end of that like legend. He like I knew where his house was. I didn't like stalk him, but I was like I know what neighborhood he lives in. Like Larry Bird, like
we need to investigate you. Larry Bird.
I was investigating him. I was like he lives in a house. Like that guy lives in a house. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like he lives somewhere. He has like a fridge. He like goes and eats food.
I've been by Michael Jordan's house, and it is impressive. There's a big 23 on the front gates, of course.
Well, not trying to keep it a secret, I guess.
Yeah.
I live right now, and he doesn't live there anymore. But Al Horford is like his mansion. It was like I could definitely bike there from where I am right now. It was like, and my running route used to go by his house, and I'd always try to like peer down his like quarter-mile long driveway to see if I could like. I was like kind of envisioned like one day he'd be like taking out the trash or something, and I'd see Al Horford and just high five him on my run, but never did happen. And it was funny because when he like I think it was right before he got traded, it like went up for sale, and I was like, wow, that's like a direct result of him leaving. And there you go. He's selling his mansion.
Well, the rumors are that Giannis is looking at private schools in Chicago. So that's all I'm saying.
I love
hopes
that.
up. I have to because it's been a hopeless time for a good stretch.
It's bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
But what's funny is even if we get him, we probably have to give up a lot, and we're probably still going to be like the 8th seed. So,
but it'll be fun as hell. Imagine
it will be fun. That's why I'm down for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be
just to like completely turn over the roster.
Totally.
Except for Matas, you keep Buzelis, and I'm cool.
Yeah, every game will be like the tickets are gonna double in price if that happens.
And they've been the number one attendance for the past like 10 years. So
yeah, that's how they get away with it, I guess.
Yeah. So I guess another kind of crossing these two paths. Is there anything you can think of where like basketball and music have really overlapped in your life?
I mean,
Catherine,
I feel like we're always on.
Do you remember watching the overtime on the stage?
Yes, I was gonna say that. We're always on tour, like during the playoffs, and I think it was 2023. It was Celtics Heat in the Eastern Conference, and the Heat, they went up 3-0 on the Celtics, which was very exciting for me because I love Julian, but I hate the Celtics. And I can't, like, did the Celtics end up winning that game that we watched?
Yes.
There's just this picture of Julian on the stage, like, just, like, pulling his hair out, like, looking at, like, a tiny little phone.
We were, like, unsetting. It was like the show was over, the merch was getting packed up, and I was, like, packing up the drums, and we were, like, packing up the stage, but I had it was, like, right as overtime was happening, like, the most intense game of the season.
Yeah.
So I had my phone just, like, resting on something, and I was trying to, like, not be so slow that everyone was mad at me, but also, like, watch this. And, like, the club is, like, wants us to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted me to... It was not a good time to be watching basketball, but if I couldn't pick the time it was happening. And someone got the amazing fight. It was just like, I think it was me and you and I forget who, but I'm just like in full, like screaming at my phone.
Meltdown mode.
Yeah. I think it was like I forget, I literally can't remember, but it was like there was some like game winner and they got the moment of like that.
Yeah.
It was like a really funny photo. Yeah, tour happens a lot. I feel like there's always basketball on tour. I feel like I've watched a lot of games on phones in like green rooms and stuff.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like it is also like specifically for some reason like a drummer move that like you can just like have your phone on your kit and no one's gonna know.
During the show?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't put it past you. It's okay. I wouldn't doubt it.
Do that. I wouldn't be able to focus on the music, and just be
right. Yeah. Sure. All right, so the kind of like last thing I wanted to do is I told you guys before I want to do build a band, which is I'd love for you guys to like try and build a band entirely out of NBA players. Give them all instruments. What do they sound like, and get a little goofy with it. So I'd love to hear what your band is.
So there's no instruments in our band. It's going to be a mixed denominational Christian singing group.
Okay.
And we got your Steph Curry, a lover of Christ. Luke Cornett, who he is a devout Catholic, and he also has an excellent blog that he updates semi-regularly, where it's like a tour blog, but it's just like different churches that he goes to like throughout the NBA season.
Wow.
And yeah, he's like truly a good writer. Like
it's a good blog.
Yeah. And then we have Sam Merrill, Mormon.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
And VJ Edgecombe, who also loves God.
Okay. All right.
And then we had the crew too. Who did we have?
The TM and music director is Joe Maz.
Okay. Who I imagine him saying crazy stuff like
absolutely,
like, you're not flat, then the note is sharp or something like that, or you're like just crazy aphorisms.
That man is beyond crazy.
Yeah, I love him.
Wait, are you? Does that mean you guys are leaving Jonathan Isaac on the bench here? Because
he's a little too MAGA-y. He's a little too Trumpy. Yeah, and we decided to leave him off our team.
He's not religious in an endearing way.
Yeah.
No, it's like a little much.
Yeah. Yeah, he was like the very first person to be like, I'm not kneeling, or I'm not wearing that shirt or whatever during like the COVID season.
Yeah, he's kind of amazing. He just like picks 100% of the time the opposite of what I would like. He's like, I'm not getting vaxxed. Like he's just like, it's kind of amazing.
But also to be that bad and injury prone and still be that loud.
Right.
I know.
He was one of the ones where he was like, I'm not getting the shot, and I think Adam Silver is just like, no, you are. Like, you don't have that kind of leverage. Like,
I feel like Michael Porter Jr. was also in that realm, but I don't think he's religious. I think he's kind of the opposite of that.
Yeah.
I think he's just a dickhead.
Yeah.
He's not in our band.
Yeah. So, I never really thought of it, but I never thought of Steph as like being a churchy boy, but it makes sense.
He's like that kind of like alt Christian, like Instagram, like, he's definitely got some like Bible verse tattoos, like,
Do you think he's going to like those like Hollywood churches like that Justin Bieber would go to?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. With like a hot like 27-year-old pastor.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
For sure.
I mean, he did, props to Steph. He is a fan of Paramore, which is like very cool to hear. And to see him on stage with Haley was a fun treat.
Yeah. Very sick.
But I feel like he could also get down with some like, some Tooth and Nail Records bands,
Yeah.
We got to get him the sports album and just tell him it's like about God or whatever. He can
just say you guys are a Christian band.
It's like, why not?
Yeah.
Be anything to anyone if they'll listen.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, so that's what we got to do. We got to get Steph the album.
Yeah.
But I love the take. No one has done a Christian choir for this yet. So I love the lane. No one's gone there.
That's what we seek to do.
Yeah. That's kind of all I got. It's been great talking basketball and talking about the new album, and I guess the final thing I want you guys to duke out is who's going to come out on top this season between you guys.
That's a good question.
I think we can count my Bulls out of it, obviously.
Sorry. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, sorry.
Might see you in the play-in.
Probably.
Yeah, what if you do get Giannis and then you're in the play-in and then it's crazier things have happened?
Then we'll see you in the Eastern Conference Finals, one of you guys.
I'd love it.
I think the Sixers are a first-round exit this year.
Trust the process, though.
Yeah. I think Joel's a little too inconsistent and just can't rely on it. But
you love them this year,
full
right?
Trust.
Catherine, you're like happy with them.
I love them. They bummed me out so much last year, and it's just like such a release to watch basketball.
I really like to
for
see
me,
Catherine be happy about the Sixers. It really warms my heart.
Yeah. It gives my life a lot of meaning.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
We need it, I feel like and I have nothing against the Sixers other than, the one year when the Bulls were good, they just wiped the floor with us every single time. And with the good Lonzo season, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks for guys for coming on. It's been
Thanks
great.
For having us.
Very excited for the new record.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks for checking out my interview with Remember Sports. Make sure you check out their new album. Thanks again for listening. If you want to support Indie Basketball on Patreon, we're at patreon.com/indiebasketball. If you support us there, You're going to get discounts on merch. You're going to get exclusive half-court sessions. We do a third song that's only on our Patreon for every single half-court session we've done. So you're going to get those. You're going to get early access to podcast episodes. You get access to kind of a secret Discord channel in our Discord. But most importantly to me is you're helping us keep doing what we want to do, what we like to do, and make more half-court sessions and make more merch. And I truly don't make a dime on this. Everything goes directly into making more fun stuff with bands I love. So yeah, if you want to do that, we're at patreon.com/indiebasketball. Otherwise, make sure you follow us on all the social media channels. We're on Instagram. We're at YouTube. We're on Blue Sky. I'm no longer on TikTok just because I'm kind of tired of the way that's gone. But I'm at Indie Basketball on all the platforms. Join our Discord. Join the conversation. It's a fun group of people. You know, we'll keep doing more segments like we did at the beginning of this episode, and you can be mentioned in here. But that's going to do it for this episode. Appreciate you listening. We'll see you next time.